Loopings? Das sieht krank aus. Crazy. Das ist ja cool. Was hat er noch? World's Scariest Slides. Da sehe ich mich. Let's go.
No matter how old you are, it's hard to walk past a playground slide and not relive your childhood.
Alter, ich hatte aber auch schon so Momente auf so Rutschen, wo ich dachte, mein Leben ist vorbei. Aber ich glaube, das ist normal, oder, Leute?
Fortunately, these days, slides aren't just made for kids. Adrenaline junkies around the world have turbocharged their favorite ride. These slides aren't for the faint of heart. Let's get it on.
Ja, so eine habe ich auch schon mal gemacht. Das war echt cool. Das hat voll Spaß gemacht.
Skyslide. For people who have a fear of heights, the best advice I can give you is don't look down. But what if that's not an option? The Skyslide in Los Angeles is a terrifying see-through slide.
Ja, aber weiß ich nicht. Das ist krass vom Bauen her, aber jetzt nichts, was ich mir nicht trauen würde. Also ich würde sagen, die würde ich mich trauen.
Skyscraper. Take a trip up to the 70th floor of the US Bank Tower in downtown Los Angeles, and you can take a chance on one of the scariest.
Ja, aber also, würdet ihr euch trauen, Leute? Das würde ich mich trauen.
4-second experiences of your life.
Safe. Das würde ich mich safe voll trauen.
Okay, so 4 seconds doesn't sound like a long.
Also 4 Sekunden einfach so in diesem Ding drin. Chat, da sind wir mutig genug, oder?
Long time, but when there's only a thin piece of clear Perspex glass between you and a 1,000-foot drop, it feels like.
Ich glaube schon, dass du da ein bisschen Adrenalino kriegst, aber trauen würde ich mich
eternity. Riders shuffle into a thin gray mat before sliding down the hair-raising slope for this short but exhilarating thrill ride. Survivors of this experience get off 1 story below on the 69th floor.
Nice.
Kilimanjaro.
Das sieht schon mal nach was anderem aus.
When you're on a water slide named after the tallest mountain in Africa, you've got to wonder if specialist climbing equipment and oxygen masks are needed to reach the top. The Kilimanjaro.
Das sieht schon nach was anderem aus. Boah, weiß ich
nicht. Rio de Janeiro's tallest water slide, standing a massive 164 feet tall.
Ich glaube, ich
würde machen. That might not sound that impressive, but
ich glaube, ich würde machen. Ich hätte den Gigaschiss.
Next to
genau wie er.
Rio's other tourist attraction, you'll notice our favorite white knuckle water ride is a good 40 feet tall.
Aber, boah, wie du da runter.
Taller. Riders need to be sure of 2 things before they brave the Kilimanjaro. They need to be able to handle the massive 234-step climb to the top. And then have their fear of heights in check. While some people feel brave enough initially, 1 in 20 riders take 1 look and back out for their
Fühle ich. Aber ich glaube, ich würde es machen.
Walk of shame. With all that height comes blistering speed. Riders shoot down Kilimanjaro at a record 57 miles per hour. Fastest speed on any water slide currently in operation.
Das ist die schnellste Rutsche der Welt,
Alter. You probably don't want to go any faster either. Or you might need another pair of swim.
Alter, aber auch wenn du machst ja wahrscheinlich dieses 3-Punkt-Ding so, da müssen deine Schultern ja übel, das muss doch scheuern.
Trunks. ZeroG.
Okay, so eine Art Rutsche habe ich auch schon gemacht, wo quasi der Boden einfach weggeht und du gerade runterfällst. Das ist fun gewesen. Aber wahrscheinlich ist das noch ein bisschen was krasser.
If you ever wanted to combine the thrill of hurtling down a water slide at breakneck speed with zero gravity, the ZeroG in New Jersey's Mountain Creek is an adrenaline-fueled adventure.
Das, also ohne Scheiß, wenn du die Möglichkeit mal sowas hast zu machen, das ist
like
witzig.
No other. After ascending the 200-odd stairs to the top, brave riders are loaded into a capsule at the top of the ride and a door is sealed. A calm, yet somehow terrifying voice counts you down to your doom. Suddenly the floor gives way and you fall through the trap door into an almost vertical drop. You get this surreal moment of zero gravity, but there's no time for aerial acrobatics.
Okay, ja gut. Dann habe ich, glaube ich, sowas auch schon mal gemacht, weil in Rulantica fällst du auch erstmal ein ganzes Stück.
Because you're almost immediately shot into the world's tallest double loops before sliding into the
Loopings
pool below. Slip and Fly, Ohio. Ask any
adrenaline
junkie and they'll tell you. Most water slides are missing 1 key ingredient, a giant jump at the end.
Bye, have a great time.
Ohio's dream action sports camp made sure
das würde ich safe machen, das sieht geil
aerial
aus.
acrobat was covered with their iconic slip and
Boah, wenn du da einen Bauchlander machst, der wird auch zwitschern.
Fly. Normally, a teenage summer camp, Dreams opens its doors to the public once a year for the annual Sports and Music Festival. Revelers from across
the
country descend on the normally sleepy Ohio town to enjoy the sun, tunes, and of course, ride the biggest water slide of its kind in the state. Riders plunge down the steep plastic track before being flung more than 10 feet in the air. Front flip, backflip, or stylish Superman. The choice once you get some air is completely up to you. Just try and time your landing properly.
Auf dem Bauch landen wäre, glaube ich, schmerzhaft.
The waiver they get you to sign on the way in doesn't cover belly flop related injuries.
It was at this moment that he knew.
To infinity and beyond. Extreme tubing. The K90 Nordic Ski Jump was first built in Utah's Salt Lake City for competitors during the 2002 Winter Olympic Games. While it's still used for
ich würde mich niemals trauen, so Skispringen. Skispringen ist mir einfach suspekt.
Competitive training, these days the landing slope takes on a much different purpose.
Okay, so darunter fahren, maybe.
You see,
das finde ich aber fast schon gruseliger als diese Kilimanjaro-Rutsche.
Problem with snow is, it doesn't usually hang around in the summer months. So to make downhill adventure a year-round thing,
ich weiß nicht doch, was soll denn passieren?
Olympic Park
würde ich schon machen.
Installed a synthetic carpet-like surface that mimics the properties of the white powdered goodness.
Warum hat er eigentlich ein Bananenkostüm an der Typ?
There are two slopes to choose from, the Junior K4 and the Big K90. But no matter your appetite for disaster, this is one thrill ride that will get your blood pumping. Riders jump in a specially designed hard-bottom inner tube and set off from the top, reaching eye-watering speeds of up to 50 miles per hour.
Das ballert.
You've got no way to steer. Just hold on tight and hope for the best as you rocket down the
Ich hätte so Bock auf sowas. Ich liebe auch Achterbahn.
green slide all the way to the bottom. Ultimate abyss. I've always found it funny that cruise ships have swimming pools included, so it should come as no surprise that some of them come kitted out with slides as well. The Royal
Alter, ist das ein großes Kreuzfahrtschiff. Holy shit.
Caribbean hosts one of the most unique and positively immersive slide experiences in the world. You'll find the ultimate abyss slide in the sports deck.
Crazy.
10 floors up. And trust me, it's not as innocent as it seems. There's no water on this ride, so unless you're particularly slippery, you'll have to get into a specially designed sliding pad and pick one of two identical
da hätte ich aber auch Bock
tubes to
drauf.
disappear into.
Da würde ich auch machen.
Riders will top out at around 10 miles per hour.
Das würde ich auch machen. Ah, 10 Miles per Hour, das ist easy. Das laufe ich auch so zu Fuß. Das finde ich sogar, also neben diesem durchsichtigen Ding noch so voll chillig.
But it's the psychedelic audio-visual experience on the way down that really makes the ultimate abyss an amazingly unique experience. It would be cool if one of the slides randomly spat you out into the ocean, but
boah, sowas würde ich auch mal machen, so eine Infinity Wave, das würde ich auch gerne mal
it
ausprobieren.
probably wouldn't be for the best while somewhere out in the middle
Aber
of
das
the
flasht mich
Pacific.
jetzt nicht so, außer der Fakt, dass es halt auf dem Kreuzfahrtschiff ist.
Imagine Slide. Deep in El Salvador's El Boquerón Mountains lies a curious tourist attraction that can literally be seen from a mile away. The view over the valley is an experience in itself.
Ui.
But tourists come from all over to take a ride on this once-in-a-lifetime thrill.
This
isn't your average slide. Patterns on the hexagons prevent you from going down without a specifically designed inner tube. One ride costs just $5, and after a friendly push from the slide attendant, you very quickly build up some blistering speed.
Sieht auch jetzt nicht so flashy aus.
Most guests can't help screaming for joy as they zoom down the rainbow slide.
Ich weiß nicht, findet ihr nicht auch, das sieht jetzt nicht so krass aus irgendwie.
But that's if the weather is fine. When there's heavy fog, you literally slide
das ist dann scary.
into the clouds and disappear. Who's next? Bamboota Lodge. Panama's Bamboota Lodge is a quiet rainforest retreat hidden away from the hustle and bustle of the South American city. Surrounded by lush jungles and clear waters.
Eine Rutsche im Dschungel.
There's a lot to do when you've had enough.
Die sieht jetzt aus wie so average Gartenrutsche.
Of just lazing around by the pool.
Das ist so die einfach so diese Plane, die ihr einfach nehmt, auf den Rasen packt, dann einfach rüberrutscht, so.
Sipping cocktails. One of those adventures is a 150-foot water slide that runs from the bar deck right into the Caribbean Sea. You can take a boogie board or go
das ist aber cool.
first without one, straight into clear, warm waters.
Das ist aber
if you're lucky, curious sloths often like to watch riders as they slip straight into the ocean. Rear rock slide.
Das ist aber cool.
Hidden deep.
Aber das Ding als Wort Scary Slides. Also ich fand Kilimanjaro fand ich krass. Ich fand das mit dem Katapult fand ich richtig cool. Und okay, das mit dem Skispringen-Ding war auch krass.
Deep in the National Park of New Zealand's North Island is the Rear Rock Slide. Here, water from the nearby Wharekapie River has spent millions of years weathering the rocks around to create the awesome Rear Rock
Das ist geil.
Slide. A naturally
das muss ein Erlebnis sein.
200-foot long decline into the rocky
das
area
ist ja
that
mal
provides
geil.
one of the most extreme rides in the world. Riders can take rafts down the rapids or even hang on to motorized boats that provide massive speed boost while clinging to boogie boards for...
Alter, ich check auch Leute nicht, die einfach so mit so einem Kajak so einen Wasserfall runterfahren. Ich glaube, das ist so ähnlich.
Dear life. Fun to ride? Yes. Crazy? Maybe just a little bit. Orbit Tower.
What the... Okay, jetzt wird's wild.
Is the longest, tallest, and fastest dry slide in the world. London's ArcelorMittal Orbit was originally a sculpture created to commemorate the 2012 London Olympics. 4 years later, they decided to make use of the 377-foot-tall structure.
Das sieht ja mal basic aus.
By installing a giant tube slide that twisted and turned from top to bottom. The result is a...
Würde ich machen? Sieht aber sehr intens aus.
Crazy 584-foot ride complete with 12 turns and a tight corkscrew twist. Riders brave enough have to make their way to the top
das sieht krank
of the Orbit Tower before donning a
Die spinnen, die Briten.
helmet and elbow pads for safety. Once you set off though,
Alter, wenn du Schutzausrüstung brauchst, weißt du, die Rutsche ist legit.
There's no turning back.
Alter. Boah.
Riders
Wie lang das auch
reach
geht.
speeds of up to 15 miles per hour, whizzing towards the ground, while the view is supposed to
Aber keine ist so schnell wie diese Kilimanjaro.
be spectacular from the top. Don't expect to see a lot on the way down. A few glimpses of sunshine is all you get before being plunged back into absolute darkness.
Alter. Das Ding ist auch krass. Also ich muss sagen, ich glaube, das, was ich am liebsten ausprobieren würde, wäre tatsächlich, auch wenn ich am meisten Schiss hätte, dieses Kilimanjaro-Ding. Das wäre wild. Das wäre wild.